Hello YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Path of Exile 2. And welcome back to the Val time traveling expedition. As you saw in the last episode, the Viper woman kicked my ass, and then I went for a cup of tea. I put the game on pause, and I put my recording software on pause. I went and had a cup of tea, got my fingers and hands a little bit better situated, came back, and I replayed the fight, and I kicked her ass. And then as we were zoning into this section, I suddenly realized that I hadn't hit the pause button to start recording again. So I left in my embarrassment, having my arse handed to me, just as punishment for being such a dork. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything's tickety-boo in your lives. It's absolutely glorious here. The sun is sunning and the shine is shining. And Tuxedo Cat is sitting on the windowsill in her sunniest spot. Making absolutely certain that the curtain is open and it's blaring sunshine right the way across my screen. So as I said yesterday I spent most of the day in hospital, and it was a very difficult day. I've said before that I need a major operation on my chest at some point this year, and so I needed some scans and some x-rays and some all sorts of kind of examinations and stuff, and they might have to bring it forward. According to the specialist that I saw yesterday, they might have to bring it forward. He said ASAP, he said he wanted it done ASAP, so that could mean within the next 6 months, could mean within the next 6 weeks, so who knows. So it looks like I'm going to be under the knife fairly soon, which is fine. And some pretty good news for me, at least. I actually managed to walk a little bit in hospital yesterday, which was just quite amazing for me. It was, I had a nurse on one side and a doctor on the other side, and I managed to walk from one machine out of the clinic and across the corridor into a room for another machine, so I took probably about 8 steps, which was good. So I'm happy about that. I've done 4 or 5 steps in the house with help from my wife, and that's been, that I've been able to do that for a good few months. But this was longer in a strange environment and being helped by people I don't really know very well. So, you know, trust in those situations can be an issue. But I managed to do like eight proper steps. Like,
a druid knows to travel light.
and I managed to get out of my chair by myself and up onto the examination couch, which is always a good day when I can do that. So yeah, all in all, pretty good day yesterday. And I hope they do bring my operation forward, because I hate hospitals, and the least time that I spend in hospitals, the better. And I just want all of these things over and done with, so I can have a life that doesn't revolve around my next consultant appointment, and I can just get on with doing things that I enjoy doing. Which includes playing Path of Exile 2 and games and making content for YouTube. So I'd like to do a little bit more of that, please. So I did a little bit of a test yesterday, and it seems that my wife's fix for my lag issues has worked really, really well. And the next video after this is the last one with any, or should be the last one with any lag. And then everything after episode 20 should be completely lag free. And the funny thing is, without lag, you actually look forward to playing. Because I was having the situation where I would play for 6 hours, and only 2 hours of that gameplay was actually worth saving. So it wasn't a particularly good return on investment as far as time is concerned. And now everything's worth saving, pretty much. So it's a much better situation all around. And talking about better situations, yesterday I was starting to talk about the changes that they've made for 0 spot 5 spot 3. And I'd got to breach changes, and so I'll continue on with Abyss changes. Now I like Abyss, I like the Abyssals, and I like the Abyssal event. And it says here, conquering the vessel of Kulimak now has a chance to drop ancient jawbones, ancient ribs, and ancient collarbones. Tazgul's Swallower of Light will now always drop desiccated currency. Vandroth, Black-Blooded Enslaver, will now always drop desecrated currency. The final large abyssal trove in Abyssal Depths will now always contain desecrated currency. Improve the visuals of the Abyss strongboxes. The close to the surface abyss Atlas passive skill now additionally has abyss tablets, also grant abyssal depths 25% increased chance for monsters to have abyssal modifiers, 25% abyssal tablets also grant abyssal depths increased chance for monsters to have lichborn modifiers, and abyss tablets also grant abyssal depths 4% increased pack size. They've added 13 new abyssal wasting modifiers for the grip of Kulamak unique ring, and the Amanamu staff suffix modifier, granting plus 12 to 16% to block chance, now grants plus 20 to 25% to block chance, which is a hefty chunk. They've added a new of Kurgal staff suffix modifier, granting plus 3 to 4 maximum stacks of Puppet Master, 3 to 4 maximum stacks, that's quite good. Added a new Amanamu staff prefix modifier, granting a gain of 40 to 50% of damage as extra chaos damage. And the His Grave command skill, granted by the Unborn Lich unique staff, has no longer has a spirit cost, previously a percentage-based spirit reservation similar to Tame Beast. Quality on His Grave command now grants 0 to 20% more minion life. Previously it was 0 to 20% increased reservation efficiency. Many of the Grip of Kulamak desecrated modifiers have been combined into a single modifier, increased numerically or disabled. Existing items can be updated using a Divine Orb to receive the new values. However, new modifiers will only generate on new versions of the item. They've fixed a bug where Abyssal Depths areas sometimes did not contain a rare monster with an Abyss modifier at the end of the area. So if you like Abyss events, which I do, that sounds all pretty good. They've made some changes to, this is a short one before we end up going into the next. There's an Insta around here somewhere. So this should give us time. The offerings to the Queen, notable Temple Atlas passive skill, no longer provides 50% chance. Rare Val beacon chests contain an additional random temple currency item or 25% chance Val beacon unique monster drop and additional random temple currency. Instead, it now provides a rare or unique monster in the area is corrupted when Val beacons are activated. This change is to ensure the temple is the source of temple currency, while providing a new mechanism for players to interact with monsters outside of the temple. Well, that makes sense. They've reduced the frequency of Atziri's temple biome restricted rooms enabled by the secrets of the ancient notable temple Atlas passive skill. This, combined with the royal prerogative notable, now always results in a net positive number of restricted room uses. And there's a large number of... where are we? General changes and improvements. Build planner files can now contain a link field which will present a button for users to click on the build description info. Currently, only a subset of domains are whitelisted to appear in the client.
Can't carry anymore.
When opening the I want or I have currency selectors in the currency exchange, the search box will now have immediate focus when using mouse and keyboard. The staunch deflection notable passive skill now additionally grants gain deflection rating equal to 8% of evasion rating. Rogue Exiles no longer drop corrupted items. Reduce the damage, area of effect, and freeze buildup of Geonor, the Putrid Wolf's Moonbeam skill in all versions of this boss fight. I'll read that again. Reduce the damage, area of effect, and freeze buildup of Geonor, the Putrid Wolf's Moonbeam skill in all versions of this boss fight. Well, that'll be handy. That will be handy when you're just starting out, because he can be a bit tricky if you're just starting out and you haven't had much experience. They've reduced the damage of Count Geonor's reverse cleave skill in all versions of this boss fight. Okay. Reduce the damage of Journal, the Putrid Wolf's reverse cleave skill in all versions of this boss fight. When interacting with the waypoint in Act 2, hovering over the icons used to navigate the caravan now instruct you to go to the desert map near Azala to do so. Improved the behavior of ground-targeted skills when using against Zalmarath the Colossus, and made various improvements to the market UI when playing with a controller. And that'll make people who play with controllers very happy. Alright, we'll have a look at the bug fixes either later on or tomorrow. And this is just seriously gross. I was wandering around here thinking, oh my god, it's a butcher's shop. What on earth are they doing? And where do they get all the people from? You know, there's thousands and thousands of people here just slaughtered. Look at them, they're everywhere, they're piled up everywhere. There's carts full of dead bodies everywhere. And in one spot, there's like, in one spot, if I remember, in one spot on this map, there's like a mountain of dead bodies. Alright, thank God I can now get rid of that big lump of meat that's been in my bloody backpack for the last 6 months.
Leaves a bad taste in the mouth, but I do what must be done.
But what a really good place for XP this is. Hello boys. Would you like to have a look at my plants? And what do you think? What do you think of my plants? No wonder they died out the ball. Yeah, look at these bloody great big mountains of dead people. Horrible. And I'm sure keeping them out there in the sunshine like that is just like breaking so many health and safety codes. So many regulations gone there. You're gonna get the inspectors round on you in a heartbeat if you do that.
What mad fiends? Take hold!
And I'll tell you, the last thing you want when you're a psychopathic bunch of blood priests is a stern letter from the
Druid
council.
knows to travel light.
Oh, do you mind? I have to say I'm a big fan of these updates that GGG keep pushing out. It tells me they are watching, they're listening, and they're responding. And I think that is all very, very good for a game company. And I have to say that every time I've seen Jonathan Rogers being interviewed, I will give, his usual, developer fireside chats and stuff. He's always come across as being an inherently decent bloke. Who cares about his game, and I think he cares very much about the game's reputation, and then and the corollary of that is the company's reputation as well. So. It looks like we're going to have a new Prime Minister in the United Kingdom. And under almost any other circumstance, I would say that is a bloody good thing. And I do try very hard not to do politics on this channel. But it's a big event, so regardless of my own personal politics, it is a big event. Andy Burnham has won the recent Makerfield by-election. It looks like he's going to be challenging Keir Starmer to lead the Labour Party. The only problem is that there's going to be no difference between him and Keir Starmer as far as policies is concerned, except he is going to take the country even more to the left than Keir Starmer. At least Keir Starmer understood how the bond markets work. Andy Burnham, on the other hand, seems to think that, and I quote, the bond markets will just have to get in line. That's not how these things work. So he's going to drag the country further to the left, thinking that the problems we have are because we are not far enough to the left. When the reality is that the problems we have are because we are too far to the left. As one commentator said yesterday, and something that I agree with 100%, is that the difference between Starmer and Burnham is likely to be the difference between two donuts, one with white icing and one with pink icing. All you're getting is the same cake but with a different colour topping, and that's it. That's all that's going to happen.
No ordinary lot.
Now the eagle-eyed and observant of you out there will notice there is something funny going on with my XP bar. And you will be right. This is the second time that I have run this dungeon. The first time I ran it, I played it back and did a quality control check, as I do with everything that I record. And half the audio, for some unknown bloody reason, half the audio was slightly overcooked. It was frying on the top end, and there was some digital distortion coming in, and digital distortion is horrible. Analog distortion you can work with because it's basically over compression, and that usually sounds nice and warm and fine and fat. But digital distortion is bloody horrible. So just for you guys, as soon as I finished this dungeon and I did it and I listened back to what was going on, I thought, oh my god. And I ran it again in order to get pristine audio. And we got pristine audio, and so I cut it out, the old one out, and I put this one in. So you've got a much better listening experience for this one.
Takes what's old.
Say it would be nice to have some air conditioning today.
I'm full up.
Sadly, British houses don't have much in the way of aircon. My air conditioning typically is to have the window open a couple of extra inches. So let me have a look at these, the more affected bug fixes. They fixed a bug where the city biome, tablet, effect, atlas passive skills were not functional. They fixed a bug where dormant constructs from the Mechanical Guardian's Doryani Atlas Master option made it impossible to complete a ritual if they were revived in one. Fixed a bug where Olroth's, Utred's, Varanas or Medved's boons in 10-slot runic inscriptions could hide the incorrect option from future 10-slot runic inscriptions, allowing you to choose the same boon twice, which caused the selected option failing to drop the second time. That could be inconvenient. Fixed a bug where socketed jewels would not be preserved when reforging an item. Fixed an issue where Stern Fallen Knight of Alder could sometimes fail to emerge. Fixed a bug where unique expedition chests could fail to drop a unique item. Fixed a bug where Derisian remnants could sometimes spawn enemies on the opposite side of walls. I've been facing that. I've had that on a number of occasions where the remnants will actually spawn mobs in very awkward places. I had one in the jungle where they actually spawned mobs next to a hut that was actually set decoration, and you can't actually get behind it where these two were. Fortunately, my AoE could reach them, and I managed to kill the pair of them. But otherwise, I mean, if you were a melee tool, you wouldn't have been able to do that. They fixed the bug that prevented the delirium progress bar from showing when it was paused under some circumstances. Fixed the bug where completed events on the delirium progress bar would appear uncompleted upon leaving and re-entering the instance. Fixed the bug where events on the delirium progress bar would not reveal to party members. Fixed a bug where town portals were not appearing after completing waves in Simulacrum. Fixed a bug where the Atlas map could get stuck with a black loading screen. Fixed a bug where the gathering storm shockwave from exploding temper spell wasn't hitting enemies. Fixed the bug where minions created by Ravenous Swarm could do damage. Fixed the bug where the Chaos attunement support non-chaos damage penalty only applied to attack damage. Fixed a bug where the damage of the spiraling conspiracy skill granted by the Raven's Flock unique staff would not always update immediately based on your stats changing. Fixed a bug where sources that granted a random shrine buff were almost always granting greed shrines. Fixed a bug with sorcery ward where if enough defenses contributed to the value of the barrier, it could become negative and amplify hit damage. This value now cannot exceed 32,000. We will be reviewing sorcery ward in a future patch. You've been warned. Fixed the bug where using a mana class grants guard equal to 100% of the class's recovery amount for 4 seconds. modifier found on the close, warm, unique ring did not calculate correctly if the value is not 100%, which is possible when found on the Law Weave unique body armor. Fixed an issue where the red flag effect was missing on Piranha last fall's unblockable cyclone skill. Fixed above where Piranha last fall was using an intellect animation. Fixed above where you could sometimes become stuck in unwalkable terrain when returning from the loathsome mire. That's such a good word, loathsome. I'm surprised my Druid hasn't used that word. He seems the type. He's definitely the type to use the word loathsome. Fixed a bug where the delirium bar would not always correctly indicate when the fog progression was paused. Fixed an issue where the entrance to Kimar Reservoir wouldn't remain visible when returning to Kimar. Fixed an issue where some players were not granted the waypoint for Kimar Reservoir when having Jado open the entrance to Kimar Reservoir. Fixed a bug where the lake drain animation on the Act 3 world map was not playing. Fixed a rare issue where you had to manually select any of the tone dialogue options with Varro for the Runeseeker quest to advance in any of the sub-areas. Fixed an issue where you could not control plus left click on an item in your inventory to assign it as the I want item when using a currency exchange. Fixed a bug where the stat filter field in the market panel was not being cleared upon selecting stat. Fixed an issue where you could not exchange rings for a grasping mail item when playing with a controller. Fixed an issue where quick move was not available when using the grasping mail exchange window when playing with a controller. Fixed a bug where additional text on skill gems from build planner files were not showing. Fixed an issue where the audio could become distorted when playing on a PlayStation. Fixed a client crashes that occur when highlighting a map on the endgame map that contained an invalid rogue exile. And they fixed 3 more client crashes, which is fantastic because I've had a couple of those and a couple of the weird ones that go blockade detected, which is all very, very weird. So if anybody out there knows what blockade detected is, I mean, I've done an internet search and it doesn't make any bloody sense to me. But if because there's all sorts of different theories as to why it goes. So if anybody out there's got better ideas as to why you get a blockade detected warning come up, and I've only ever had it with this game, then drop me a little line in the comments. And talking of comments, as Joe would say, you know the thing. Like, subscribe, drop me a line, and do all that stuff, please. That would be very, very helpful. You're wonderful people, and I love you. Thank you. It's a nice zone, this one, I think. I mean, obviously, you know, you take the dead bodies away, you know, the people being sawn in half by laser beams and stuff, and yeah, not quite what I mean by a nice zone. Lots of mobs and decent.
Wild take ya! A druid knows to travel light. I'm full up. Ow! Scourge!
We need to give it a thorough going over, a thorough cleanse. Make sure there's no nasties hiding away in any of these little dark corners. Be thorough about it. That's gross. And that's grosser. It looks like this entire facility was designed to process human flesh into experiments. Millions of them. So the only thing worse than that kind of a laser beam going through them people on the wall is if when you pressed the button and the laser beam went down, they started screaming. That would be horrible. That would be absolutely awful. Jonathan, if you're listening, for sure, don't please don't. That would be absolutely awful. But I'm betting somebody in GGG actually thought about that and they went, no, that's a step too far.
Roots and stare ye! I'm full up. Ancient light!
And that's a decent size as well. Running this thing a couple of times gives you a heap of XP. Here we go. Sorry, I had to go and sell. The testing pit.
At the eve of the end, the demon of Aggorat has finally come forth. This is now.
Come on, test me, Egypt.
Progress comes with a heavy price.
Come test your stupid machines against my plants.
This ends now.
Doryani, the man-machine, versus the Druid Plantomancer and his psychopathic bonsai trees. There you go. Have a fern to the face.
I must save my people.
You know why we're here! It happened! It cannot be stopped!
No, I will succeed.
No, you won't, mate.
I will burn you alive. The end of the world is nigh.
I laugh in your general direction.
Face the might of the Val. I've been preparing for you for years. Existence is merely energy.
Suck my plant,
Burn to
moron.
ash, demon of Aggorat.
Go on.
Ravaging power. Now you're within my grasp. The end of the world is nigh. I've had enough of you. Unexpected, but non-critical. I've been preparing for you for years.
You knew I was coming,
Self-destruction.
and you didn't bake a cake.
This is not over yet.
What a rude jerk. Ooh.
There is no escape. I cannot allow you to interfere.
It's a bit late for that, mate.
You think you can run?
I'm interfering. This is me interfering, look.
I've had enough of you.
Well, spoiler alert, you're gonna have to have a little bit more of me, whether you like it or not.
Now you're within my grasp.
What?
Burn to ash, demon of Aggorat. No! Do not fail me. Not now. How could this happen?
Because you're an
All I've
idiot.
done,
That's why.
all that I sacrificed.
Your people cannot be saved. History is already written. You can stay here and die, or come with us and help save the future.
The legacy of the Val must be protected. I have a way to contain the beast.
Best you start talking then. My friend here isn't exactly the peacemaking type.
Exactly. I'll chuck a plant at you.
There is an ancient weapon.
So will you help us?
I suppose, but the fact that you are here, I will come to your era.
It's
Perhaps.
settled then.
Here we go. One Doryani down. Isn't that kind of wonderful? And he is a bit of a jerk.
Now
I'll
then,
be
it is
keeping a
time we
close
departed.
eye on ye, lad.
Activate the portal, and we will see about it.
What is happening?
It begins.
Get through the gate. Get through the gate. Get through the gate. Oh, I can't get through it. Oh. Oh well. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. No one worry. I'm okay.
Utsal. My people. They're all long dead. It's one thing to hear it, but another to see it. This city is nothing but a grave. I can't change their fate. But the Val are not entirely gone. Alva and her Val ancestry is proof of that. I will do what I must to protect what remains. And perhaps one day, we can rebuild. For that to happen, we need the weapon. We must travel to the archipelago the Karui call Namakanui. If the pieces still exist, that is where they will be found. Study of the beast was my life's work, and the work of many of our scientists before me. Despite its danger, I still consider it a thing of beauty, a work of genius. It is capable of changing something fundamental about the nature of our existence. The beast showed us it can be done. Our experiments with life, with death, with machinery and augmentation, they were all inspired by it. We can surpass the impossible, if only we are willing to sacrifice enough.
You mean if only you're evil enough?
I gathered the greatest minds of our era in one place. We embarked on journeys of discovery that mankind could never before conceive.
Yeah.
No ethical bounds, no moral limits. We sought immortality, both in flesh and in machinery. We sought understanding of corruption. We even sought to master time itself. In the end, it was all for naught. Time is of the essence.
Returning with Doryani was an inspired move. As the foremost expert on the beast that ever lived, he is exactly the man we need. I doubt we can trust him in a broader sense, but for the moment, our goals are aligned. He wishes to contain the beast, and so do we. If he thinks we should travel south to Namakanui, then so we shall. This weapon of the precursors, it may just be our best hope.
Yeah, massive weapon
Oh,
of...
good. You're alive. Well, that was quite the adventure, wasn't it?
Have you learned the location of the weapon?
Aye, he says the weapon's in pieces. Keeps one on his person, the rest lie scattered in a Karui archipelago.
Namakanui. Interesting. We must make haste.
Well then, how about I take you and your merry friends to Kingsmarch? The port town is within the area of Namakanui. From there, you can charter a ship from my contact and begin your search.
We've quite a haul of treasure we've borrowed from Exile. It will more than cover the charter cost.
King's March would indeed be a wise location from which to base ourselves.
Great. We can leave whenever you're ready. Just let me know.
Yay.
Well, he wasn't the worst captor I've ever had.
The
I
worst
suppose he did
capture I've
save
ever
us
had.
back there.
So she's had
At
many.
least it
How
appears
many
he is on your
captors have
side
you had,
now.
love?
But you shouldn't forget who he is and all he has done. There is something eerily cold and calculating about him.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
Cold, aye, but hungry. Hunger makes a man dangerous.
Yeah, he's
I
a
believe
hungry
he will
psychopath.
aid you so long as your goals align with his. The moment they do not... I'm just saying, don't turn your back on him. I briefly saw the sky and the people. They were... Well, let's just say I now understand why Val ruins look the way they do.
Such sights change your soul, like fire chars wood.
It was unreal.
There we
Unlike
go.
anything I could have imagined. But it all happened so fast. Perhaps that was a blessing. Bye.
You bring someone we only talk about in our darkest day.
Yeah, I know, Servi.
That man
You
is
don't
not
like
just a
him.
myth.
You don't like
He's a
it. That's
monster
fine.
from the shadows
Yeah,
of
it's
the
all right.
past. His arrogance helped crack the world.
Yes.
And now you bring him here
Yes.
to us and expect him to help you? You would doom us all.
It's all right. We're going. We're going. We're leaving. It's all right. Oh, doom. Right then, people. This is kind of where we're going to leave it today. It's been a good one, and we've sorted out Doryani. We've opened up the next chapter, and in the next video we should actually
Take
be
care.
in Westmarch. Sorry, Westmarch. King's March. Westmarch is the other bloody game. There you go. Thank you ever so much, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.
Hello. Good luck.
How are you faring? What's the mosquitoes?
Hello. It's a lot.